Okay, my clock is 1 p.m., so we will call the meeting to order for the Kern Community College District. At this time, would Trustee Diaz lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Salute pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Trustee. The board did meet in closed session today. The Board of Trustees took action to dismiss a permanent classified employee employed in the classification of ground worker 1. The roll call vote was as follows: Carter, aye; Corkins, aye; Diaz, aye; Gomez Heitzberg, aye; Jimenez, aye; Meek, aye; Scribner, aye. That's the report out for closed session. With that, we will move to public comments. At this time, the public may address the Board of Trustees on any matter within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. That is not on the agenda. The public may address the Board of Trustees on each of the agenda items as those items are considered. Each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes per topic. 20 minutes shall be the maximum time allotment for public speakers at any one subject, regardless of the number of speakers at any one board meeting. At the discretion of the majority of the board, these times may be extended. Each person who addresses the board must first be recognized by the presiding officer. Comments must be addressed to the board as a whole and not to individual members or district employees. The board and staff are not obligated to comment on or respond to or address comments by the public. At the opening of this meeting, names and agenda items were taken for the public comments. Are there any additional members of the public who wish to make public comments? Please state your name and the item you wish to address. I do have members interested in addressing the board. Tina Cummings.
Good afternoon, distinguished members of the board. My name is Tina Cummings. I'm the aquatics director and a full-time faculty member at Bakersfield College. I've been at the college for 24 years, and I'm here today along with my colleagues, not only as a committed faculty member and staff of the district, but as a person who believes in the integrity of our learning environments and of the professional conduct we owe to our students and to each other. Today, we're here to voice our opposition to the potential reinstatement of Pam Kelly, either as a coach or a faculty member on the Bakersfield College campus. This is not about internal politics. This is not about other things we've discussed. This is about a pattern of behavior that has created over the decades a hostile and abusive environment for both students and my colleagues. Many of us have witnessed this hostility. Some of us have endured it, and some of us have left because of it. In any institution, especially a community college serving vulnerable and diverse populations, it is our duty to foster safety, trust, and professionalism. That duty does not stop at the classroom door or the edge of the field. When somebody repeatedly violates the ethical and professional standards we hold ourselves to, the standards that are set forth by the Academic Senate for the California Community Colleges, when that person intimidates, berates, and belittles those around them, and when the climate becomes one where people, including students, feel afraid to speak up, that is abuse, and it constitutes a hostile work environment. We should never accept this type of behavior, but we have for decades. We would not tolerate this behavior from students. We would not, under any circumstance, accept it from a faculty member or a coach who represents this institution. We should not. Bringing Pam Kelly back into a position of authority, regardless of the setting, is not a neutral decision. It sends a message to our students, to our faculty, to our staff, to our community, that toxic behavior can be overlooked if someone complains enough, makes threats, or knows how to wait out the system process. Grievances against Pam have been filed and gone nowhere, time after time, to the extent that people are told, do not waste your time, or they are fearful of filing. It is important to acknowledge the potential risk involved for our department. Raising concerns against reinstatement may result in retaliation that could present challenges to navigate for myself and for my colleagues. We have seen it happen before. However, these issues must be addressed. Reinstating her could expose the district to liability and further erode morale and damage that is already fragile as we try to build and rebuild. It would validate a culture where abusive conduct is overlooked and those who report it face adverse consequences. This is not about denial of due process. Is it about patterns of accountability and the board's responsibility to safeguard every student and employee and to protect them from environments that are hostile and harmful? These abusive environments persist in a system that refuses to stand up to bullies. You have the authority and the obligation to do what is right, not what is easy, not what is familiar, but what is right for the culture of this district. How you proceed impacts people, the people you serve. We urge you not to reinstate Pam Kelly as a coach to Bakersfield College. Do not reinstate her in a position on campus where her abuse will continue to do damage and harm students. Do not expose another cohort of students, faculty, and staff to a hostile environment we have had to endure in the past. Leadership means making hard decisions, decisions to protect the community. Please protect the students, staff, and faculty at Bakersfield College. Thank you.
Thank you. Miles Schmidt.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Before I get into my own personal statement, I'm going to speak on behalf of a student who could not be here today. To whom it may concern, after hearing about the recent meeting Bakersfield College will be having regarding Pam Kelly and her potential return, I thought I would reach out and share my experience with her. After participating in the track and field team in 2023 and 2024, a constant issue was dealing with the head coach, Pam. I've had my fair share of coaches and assistant coaches in my sports career, and she was the worst. Not particularly because of her coaching, but because of her personality and motives. After getting injured in one of my years, I would constantly be pressured by Pam to get back on the track and work, sometimes even saying, "You're not even injured, you're just faking it." There was never a day that went by with her saying something extremely rude, condescending, or unnecessary. There was a select few that she would be really close with and be respectful to, the others not at all. The 2 years I spent at BC pole vaulting and getting points for the team, never did she really respect me. Constantly yelling if I did something she did not like. For example, taking my shirt off because of the intense heat in the late spring. Going along with that, not allowing the pole vault crew to use a tent to shade from the sun. Not just telling us not to use it, yelling at us, telling us to deal with it. If I knew coming out of high school that this was the type of coach that I would have for the next 2 years, I would not have even bothered joining the team at all. Do not rehire Pam Kelly. She does not belong on the BC track ever again. I will now move on to my own personal statement. My name is Miles Schmidt. I'm a second-year student athlete here at Bakersfield College. I'm here to speak about my experience with Pam Kelly and why she should not return to Bakersfield College. As a second-year student, Pam's involvement does not directly affect me. However, if I did not speak out today about my experiences with Pam, I would be doing a disservice to my current teammates and anyone who would be coached or taught by Pam if she came back. My experience under Pam is one that was spent in an environment that can only be described as toxic. It is very clear to me that she valued herself more than she could ever value her athletes. She only cared about scoring points, as she would make athletes compete in events that they have never practiced before, which was a major injury risk. This happened to me as she forced me to compete in events that I had never done with no explanation as to why. Another part of Pam's toxic culture was her refusal to do any strength training, which resulted in many injuries throughout the season. As a matter of fact, I did not know BC had strength and conditioning coaches until this year, as we never visited the weight room. Pam's personality is a direct reflection of the culture she created, as she is brash, unforgiving, and never apologized for any of the disrespectful things she ever said to anyone. She was not just this way with her athletes, but with other staff members too. As in one instance, as I was walking past her office, I witnessed her threaten a staff member she was in an argument with. While I had not learned much from Pam, I did learn one thing, and that is how not to treat your athletes and human beings in general. If you wish to foster an environment here that discourages students and promotes toxicity, then go ahead and bring back Pam Kelly. If you care at all about your students and athletes, which I know you do, then bringing back Pam is the worst mistake you could make. The track and field program has taken major strides in the past few months as a positive culture has been created that allows athletes to flourish. If Pam ever comes back, that progress will be instantly wiped, and I will lose all faith in not just the program, but the school in general. Thank you.
Thank you. Sam Handy?
Good afternoon. I have been a part of the running community here in Kern County my entire life. Running is a passion of mine that has only grown throughout the years. Unfortunately, throughout my running career, Pam Kelly has cast a very real and deliberate shadow over me and the community, and she will continue to do so if she is allowed to return to Bakersfield College. My running career started with the Roadrunner Youth Track Club at 6 years old. At first, the club practiced at CSUB, but that facility is not ideal. I cannot tell you how excited I was as a youth when I found out that our youth club would be holding practice at Bakersfield College's new track. The size of the stadium and the lights that would come on as we trained led me to the dream of running here one day for my college career. It was all so exhilarating. Unfortunately, our hopes were tainted, and our new home could not endure even one track season because of Pam Kelly. She chased us out and shut us down after less than one season. Even our contract with the CCD could not protect us. Did the track community and future BC Renegade athletes matter to Pam? Absolutely not. So out we went. This was my first experience with Pam Kelly doing whatever she wants at the expense of the community and its athletes. During high school track season in Bakersfield, there is one meet every season held at BC. Because of the amazing facility, it should be one of the best meets in all of California, but it is historically one of the worst. It is normal for a meet to run behind schedule, but you know what is not normal is stopping the track meet at the predetermined scheduled finish time and scrapping the unfinished meet events. Pam was notorious for doing this year after year. Rather than make improvements, as recent as last year, the 300-meter hurdles were deleted altogether in order to finish on time. Another example of Pam Kelly doing whatever she wants at the expense of the community and its athletes. After many negative experiences with Pam Kelly, why would I want to be a part of the Bakersfield College Renegade track and field team? Well, initially my motivation for being a student here at BC had absolutely nothing to do with track. I came here because of the opportunity to earn a bachelor's degree in industrial automation. It is too good of an opportunity to pass up. The academic improvements at Bakersfield College are drawing quality people to the school. Athletes, especially track and field athletes, are tough and smart and uniquely prepared to succeed because they have trained to do hard things, compete, and better themselves. The head coach is supposed to be the catalyst for attracting this type of quality student. The Renegade Track program has the potential to bring top quality academic talent to our school, but that will not be the case if Pam Kelly is allowed to return. When faced with the decision to run for Pam or not, I realized that my hands were tied. I love my sport and I love this running community. If I wanted to run track, it was going to have to be for Pam's team. I went in with a positive attitude. I tried trusting Pam. After all, she has been doing this for years. Putting past experiences aside, I thought maybe she's a really seasoned and experienced coach who will help me reach my potential. This was very quickly proven to not be the case. I had no designated coach like other athletes. As a 400-meter hurdler, I was given no program, no consistent coach, no event-specific attention, and no real help. I was thrown around and carelessly handed off between the sprinters and the distance runners with no thought as to what might be best for me. My performance suffered. I later learned that I had no event-specific coach because Pam cannot keep a consistent coaching staff because she is so difficult to work for. Being a bit older and experienced myself, as well as my dad having been a track coach, I created a specific training program myself. I shared the plan with Pam. She gave condescending approval, almost with the sentiment of, "Good luck, kid. Let's see how far you get on your own." To no surprise, my 400-meter times improved noticeably within a couple of weeks. This obviously hurt Pam's pride deeply because that is when she shut my program down and banished me back to bouncing around the team from practice to practice. My times did not continue to improve the rest of the season. This last season without Pam, we have been given the attention we require and not made to feel insecure. Our coaches do not condescend to us. We are not passed off as unimportant. We feel like we are part of something bigger than ourselves, and it is another experience at Bakersfield College of which we can be very proud. Plus, it's very nice to no longer worry at track meets about what coaches and athletes from other schools might think of us due to Pam's reputation. Ladies and gentlemen, if Pam Kelly is allowed to return, her toxic patterns will return. She will manipulate others at the expense of the community. This is not an exaggeration, and her reach cannot be understated because she is so self-serving. There is no doubt that she will attempt to shut down the new youth Bakersfield Track Club that has provided great benefit, which is in great contrast to Pam Kelly's many years of toxic influence. The Bakersfield Track Club is a wonderful youth organization for which I am a volunteer coach, yet another opportunity I have been given in contrast to Pam's manipulation. From a 6-year-old novice to a 21-year-old college athlete just stepping into a volunteer coaching career, Pam Kelly has somehow had a say in all of it, and she will continue to do so if she is allowed to return. All of those young talents that the Bakersfield Track Club is fostering to do hard things will be put to an end with no adequate replacement. She treats the facility like it is her own personal property, and her suffocating need for control does not leave room for anyone or anything else, let alone a wonderful college and community program to grow. If you take anything away from my words today, please let it be my passion as an athlete, my passion as a coach, my passion as a member of the community and for the sport, and finally, my passion rooted in real experience on the topic of the effects of a very toxic Pam Kelly. For my sake and for the sake of all future runners in Kern County, I ask that you do not let Pam Kelly return. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address the board at this time? Seeing none, we will move on to item 7, preliminary items. Presentation of awards to Bakersfield College Emeritus recipients. Chancellor Glidden.
Trustee Corkins, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to talk about how our faculty affect the teaching of our students. And you may know that the term emeritus is derived from Latin, which means to have earned merit and distinction through service. It's an honorary title conferred upon individuals who have demonstrated exceptional dedication and achievement throughout their careers, typically following their retirement. The title is granted exclusively by the Board of Trustees, serving as a mark of recognition for a lifetime of service and contribution. This prestigious designation not only honors the individual's past accomplishments, but also acknowledges their enduring legacy and influence throughout the academic community. In recognition of years of outstanding service and invaluable contributions to the Kern Community College District, including Bakersfield College, Porterville College, and Saracoso Community College, the Board of Trustees is proud to bestow the title of Emeritus upon a select group of former faculty and administrators. To those faculty members we honor today, your unwavering commitment to education has provided transformative opportunities for both our community and, most importantly, our students. The district is deeply grateful for your exemplary contributions, which continue to shape the future of education. Your dedication has left an indelible mark on the institution, and we extend our heartfelt thanks for your service. As a part of today's ceremony, in acknowledgement of this prestigious honor, you will receive a specially designed medallion. When your name is called, please step forward as President Flagger delivers remarks highlighting your remarkable and amazing achievements. Following these remarks, the President of the Board will formally confer the Emeritus title and present you with the medal, symbolizing the Board's recognition of your distinguished service to the Kern Community College District. However, Board President Corkins has asked Trustee Gomez-Heitzberg, Vice President of the Board, to do the honor on his behalf. I'd now like to recognize President Flagger as we recognize Professor Brenda Nagawachi and Professor Kirk Russell. President Flagger.
Thank you, Chancellor. Trustees, members of the community, it's my privilege today to identify and recommend 2 individuals as emeritus faculty. The first is Kirk Russell. Kirk, if you'll join me up here, please. Professor and Technical Services Librarian Kirk Russell served BC for 28 years. In his capacity as Technical Services Librarian, Kirk oversaw electronic library resource management, not just for BC, but for the entire district. He also served as department chair from 2018 to 2022. Kirk exemplified BC's core values of integrity, learning, and community. He was unfailingly kind to students, an impeccable mentor to new colleagues, and always eager to learn new ways to improve his teaching and librarianship, even until his final year before retirement. In his inaugural year at BC, Kirk assisted the rest of the library team in physically moving books from the old library location to the new current library building. Congratulations, Kirk Russell, and thank you. It's now my privilege to present to you Professor Brenda Niawachi. Professor Brenda Niawachi served Bakersfield College for 20 years, beginning her service in 2004 and retiring in 2024. As a longstanding member of the Family and Consumer Education Department, Professor Niawachi specialized in child development courses. She was an early adopter of online courses, expanding opportunities for place-bound students to seek their education years before the pandemic. In service to the college, Professor Niawachi was a member of the Academic Senate, Curriculum Committee, and Assessment Committee. Her students remember her as being very kind and understanding, even when she assigned them 10-page papers. Congratulations, Professor Niawachi.
Congratulations. Thank you, President Flagler. We'll go to item B, announcement of the Kern Community College District Dr. Jack Hernandez Benisa Award. Chancellor.
Trustee Corgans, thank you. I'd like to recognize Vice Chancellor of Educational Services and Student Success, Dr. Stacy Pfluger. I'd like to thank Dr. Pfluger for her work with the committee on the Jack Hernandez Furnesis Award and recognize Dr. Pfluger to talk about this year's recipient.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everyone. We have a significant committee made up of individuals from across the district that weigh in on this award, and two of those committee members are going to speak today. The first is Dr. Reggie Williams, who is the director of the Levin Center. He's here to give us a little bit of a history and background on the award, and then President Hancock will follow that with the announcement of this year's recipient. Reggie?
Good afternoon, trustees. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Reggie Williams. I'm a 21-year member of BC's Philosophy Department, and as mentioned, I'm also the director of the Norman Levin Center for the Humanities. It's my tremendous honor to speak before all of you and to introduce the Jack Hernandez Furnesis Award, for which we all owe a huge thank you to Jack's daughter, Laura Ellers, whose generous gift made the award possible. The Jack Hernandez Furnesis Award is an annual district-wide award that honors any member of the district, faculty, staff, or administrator who exemplifies what the ancient Greeks called phronesis. Phronesis means practical wisdom, and the mark of practical wisdom is using one's academic training and skills beyond the world of academia, extending oneself beyond the walls of the ivory tower. One who exhibits practical wisdom extends oneself beyond their college job, using their academic training and skills to enhance their community. Jack Hernandez exemplified such wisdom by writing hundreds of columns and op-ed pieces in the local and other newspapers, by hosting many, many events for the community, by speaking around the community, and all of these events were always free and open to the public. This year's recipients have made valuable contributions to their community as well. Saracoso College President Dr. Sean Hancock will introduce this year's recipients. Thank you so much for your time and allowing me to speak. Dr. Hancock.
Good afternoon. It's a real honor for me to present to the recipients of this year's Jack Hernandez Furnesis Award, Drs. Claudia Sellers and Guk Uy, which is a little unusual in that we have two recipients this year since they partnered in this work together. So Drs. Claudia Sellers and Guk Uy were nominated for the Jack Hernandez Furnesis Award for their exemplary application of their biology expertise beyond the classroom through their participation in the biodiversity initiative focused on native bee identification and related environmental concerns. The NSF-funded bee research project not only advanced the understanding of native bee populations in the high desert, identifying 26 genera and endangered species, but also fostered community partnerships while empowering students with hands-on research experience. By bridging scientific inquiry with conservation action and community engagement, Guck and Claudia demonstrated practical wisdom by tangibly improving local biodiversity awareness and promoting sustainable practices for the betterment of society. Thank you and congratulations to Professors Claudia Sellers and Guck Uy.
Thank you, President Hancock. Item C is a unique item for us. It's recognition of Mr. Steve Watkin and Chancellor.
Trustee Corrigan, thank you. In just a moment, I'll call on President Flagger to make remarks, as well as invite the Board of Trustees to make remarks. But if I can take a few moments of personal privilege and talk about my first day as Chancellor, which was March 1st, 2024. The reason for that is it's not to talk about me, it's rather to talk about my interaction with Steve Watkin the first day that I was here. So the first day that I was here, Trustee Diaz, I visited McFarland's Early College Academy. There was a band playing. I thought that's a great way to start out your first day. But on that day, I met Steve Watkin, and so Steve and I spent the majority of the day together. And I want to tell you about a man whose impact to this institution, to this community, to students is transcendental. And Steve as a leader personifies humility. Steve personifies integrity. And Steve personifies why all of us do the jobs that we do and that we serve the students in the way that we do. Our early college program today is one of the most robust in the nation. That is in no small part due to Steve's work. When Steve was granted the opportunity to become interim president of Bakersfield College, he took that seriously. His integrity and his honor were a huge part of his agenda as he led this institution. I want to thank Steve for his service to the district, but more importantly, for being a kind human, a better man, and an example for all of us to follow. Steve, personally, I love you, and the time I've spent with you, I just want you to know how much you mean to me. And this is not the end, right? We never say this is the end. I've talked to Steve about voluntolding opportunities, meaning that we're not going to let Steve get too far because his impact means too much. His service to mankind means too much. And Steve, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, our faculty, our classified staff, our administrators, but most importantly, the students' lives you've touched throughout your career, on behalf of all of us, for your tireless efforts and your sacrifices, my friend, thank you's not enough, but thank you from the bottom of my heart for being the man that you are, and for me having the honor to know you, to meet your family, your children, your wife, your wonderful mother. I can't say enough about the Watkins family and how much you, I know, mean to them as well. So as we celebrate you today, thank you, Steve, for everything that you've done. President Flagger.
Thank you, Chancellor Bloomberg. For this one, I do not need any notes. I will say that my first day was March 11th, and I had a different experience because I couldn't find Steve anywhere that day. But my first interaction with Steve Watkin was at the January board meeting in '24, when my contract was approved with the district. And after the board meeting was over, Steve invited me to Bakersfield College. He invited me into Bakersfield College to the cabinet room, or the conference room outside the president's office, where there was a spread of hors d'oeuvres, and there was the executive team. And he facilitated our conversation and our dialogue. And then he stayed around till about 7 o'clock that night, talking to me some more, and giving me every insight that he could on Bakersfield College. And since that day, he has constantly been there for counsel. He's been there for support. He is a true gentleman. And you know, they often say that when you leave, they won't remember what you did. They'll remember how you made them feel. And Steve leaves at Bakersfield College a legacy of someone who cared, someone who's passionate, someone who was kind, and who was honest. And I can't think of better praise for someone as they wrap up their career. So Steve, from me to you, a sincere thank you, And please stop reminding me that you don't have the job anymore and I do. Thank you, my friend.
Steve, before we ask you to speak, I would invite members of the Board of Trustees to share any insights they would like as well.
Yeah, Trustee Meade.
Well, Steve, I've worked with a lot of people in the 25 years I've been here, and a lot of them have become family. But kiddo, you're at the top. And I love you. I love your beautiful wife. And as I told you before, you certainly married up. And I just want to wish you the best in everything you do and with your lovely family. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on this side? Go ahead, student trustee.
Hi, again. Yeah, so my name is Cindy and I'm a student trustee, and my first year I became BCSGA president when I had no idea what I was doing, and Steve Walken was very, very kind to me and just opened the doors of the president's office and just told me that I could walk in there whenever I wanted, whenever I had a question. And he was always available for any questions or any moral support or kindness that I needed during those times. And he was always there for me, so thank you, Steve.
I just wanted to say the short time I had the privilege of working with you, like everyone said here, you have an extraordinary gift to make the person in front of you feel really a part of something important. And I just hope that God will continue to bless you as you have blessed so many with a beautiful heart that is all too rare. So thank you for your commitment to this institution and by extension, our community. We are better in our community because of your leadership and your commitment to serve and modeling that for others to understand that leadership, as you would probably preach in one of your sermons, that let the greatest of all be the servant of all, and you have certainly done that.
I can't see you, so I'll stand up. Steve is a man that can move a mountain. You know, we invited him over to work with recruitment, but we didn't tell him he didn't have an office, he didn't have a phone, and he didn't have any employees. But Steve, move a mountain, and he did. Not only did he create the office and built an incredible team, but then there was early college, and he moved that mountain. I know that what you have in front of you will pale by comparison, because look at the love you have all around you. But this whole room, this college, reflects the love that you've had for BC. We share more than just a birthday. We share a love for BC.
Thank you, Steve, for the wonderful work you did, the wonderful team you helped build. The work you did around early college is known around the nation. So thank you for putting Bakersfield College and the work they do around early college known to the nation, and we'll miss you.
Steve, I'll ask you to come to the podium if you would, please, and as you do, I'll say just a few things about you. In 2023, when you became the interim president of Bakersfield College, we were in a difficult time up there. We were having some problems, and you were the right person at the right time to calm the waters, break down barriers, bring people back together, because we were not playing well together at that time. And I wasn't sure you were the right guy until Trustee Meek pointed out to me, he's the right guy. So that's fine. I always do what I'm told. But 6 months into it, we could see very quickly what you had done for us up there and up here. I say up there, I'm talking like I'm at the district office. Up here. And it was just short of fantastic because I didn't think anybody could get this thing opened up and going and people communicating again. You did a wonderful job. We appreciate what you've done. You obviously have great talent, so keep that talent moving forward and put it to good use. Please say a few words.
Well, to the Chancellor, to the board, I'm moved. I want to thank you all for the opportunity. Many people don't know this, but when I was 27 years old, I got laid off on a job. And I had 30 units, and I decided to go back to college. And for 3 years, my beautiful wife married me when I was a senior at Fresno Pacific, so didn't even have a job. And I was walking on campus one day, and the director of financial aid said, "Hey, Steve, there's an opening in the admissions office. I think you would be great at it." And that's how I got into higher ed. And just kind of happened, and I worked at Fresno Pacific for 6 years, went to Fresno State for 5 years, and I wanted to be a director. I wanted to have my own shop, and I applied for Cal State Bakersfield, and I was able to work there 13 years, and then I came over to Bakersfield College and just had fun building a program, and it was just fun. I look back over my 34 years, and I thought about all the people, the students, my colleagues. You know, I'm very grateful for the opportunity God has given me. I want to thank my family. My wife is here, my 6 kids, my 12 grandkids, and people ask me, "So what are you going to do?" Well, I have been busy. I'm able to take care of my health a little bit. I've been walking 3 miles in the morning, and just thinking of just what I'm going to do in the future. I just want to take a break. You know, you just go for 30. I've been married 36 years. I've worked 34 years. I've been in school. So I want to give my wife time to say, "Hey, we're going to be okay." I want to thank the BC community. I want to thank the district. This is not the end, as the Chancellor has said. And I just want to be part of this community. This has been my life. I took a chance when I moved to Bakersfield 25 years ago. I didn't know a soul. I just took a chance, put my family in a U-Haul, and look what has happened. So I want to say thank you very much. Thank you, Kay Meek. Thank you so much for supporting me, for inviting me to sit at a table. When you invited me to sit at a table, it's like, Kay Meek invited me to a dinner. And Fernand, thank you so much. You and I, we go back from day one. I used to see you walk in the office every morning, and when I look at the Welcome Center now, I say, yeah, that was an idea, but now it's happening. So with that said, I want to say thank you. I'm grateful, and I appreciate the time to have a few words today. Thank you.
Remind me of that.
Very good, thank you all. We'll move to, you're leaving? You guys don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting? We'll move to item 7D, approval of the 2024 update to the Kern Community College District elements of decision-making. Chancellor, did you want to speak to that at all?
Just to remind the board that this is primarily an update. This is a part of our accreditation process, elements of decision-making, and there are no substantive changes. There's some changes to titles in there, but the decision-making document and its mechanisms remain the same as the last time it was approved by the board.
Board, the chair would entertain a motion in a second.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does this go through the whole consultation process?
That's correct.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Okay. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item E is the second reading and adoption of the proposed revisions to Kern Community College District Board Policy Section of Chapter 5, Student Services, and Chapter 6, Business Fiscal Services. This is the second reading, we will need an approval today. Is there a motion? I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item F is approval of the consent item, business services other than construction, agenda items 9A through 9J. Business services constructions, agenda items 11A through 11P. Educational services, agenda items 13A through 13C. And human resources, agenda items 16A through 16B. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item G is approval of the minutes of March 13, 2025 of the regular board meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chancellor, correspondence to the board.
Trustee Corkins, there has been no correspondence or communication to the Board of Trustees.
Very good. We will move to business services approval other than construction, item 8A. Authorization for the chief financial officer to declare the Saracosa Community College listed items as surplus property. These items are no longer required for school purposes and are surplus property for Education Code 81450. The district will dispose of said property through public auction, private sale, or donation for Education Code Section 81452. The items are valued under $5,000. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a motion? I need a second. Second, sorry. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item B, authorization for the chief financial officer to execute an agreement between the Kern Community College District and Vector USA to supply Aruba Silver Peak Edge Connect SD-WAN hardware licensing and support for upgrading Kern Community College District's critical network infrastructure. The term is May 1, 2025 through April 30, 2030. The cost of the district shall not exceed $488,320.45 and be paid from GU 001 unrestricted funds. Is there a motion? Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item C, authorization for the chief financial officer to execute a lease agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and American Business Machines for copy release. The term of the agreement is from April 28, 2025 through April 29, 2030. The cost of the district is not to exceed $383,223 to be paid from GU 001 unrestricted funds. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item D, authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into an agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and Community Action Partnership of Kern. The term of the agreement is from September 1, 2023 through August 31, 2028. This amendment increases the total amount by $426,378.24 for a not to exceed amount of $1,814,999.04 to be deposited in the CD 011 restricted program funds. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 9 was consent. We will move to item 10, business services approval for construction items. 10A, authorization of the chief financial officer to approve a piggyback contract between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Saracosa Community College and AMS Modular Inc. for the Saracosa Community College Tehachapi Campus Center various modular classroom projects. Term is from April 10, 2025 to September 17, 2026. The cost of the district is not to exceed $2,056,900 to be paid from CC 102 capital outlay funds. Is there a motion? Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item B, authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into an independent consulting agreement by the Kern Community College District and Facilities Planning and Consulting Services, Inc. The term is from June 30, 2025 through June 30, 2030. The cost of the district is not to exceed $525,000 to be paid from MJ 100 local capital outlay funds. Is there a motion? Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 10C, authorization for the chief financial officer to execute an amendment between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and William Scotsman, Inc. for the Bakersfield College Swing Space Measure J Fieldhouse Project. The term of the agreement has been extended by 150 working days. The revised amount will increase the original agreement by $254,004.12 from $1,698,667.87 to $1,952,671.99 to be paid from MJ 100 local capital outlay funds. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Item D, authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a construction agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Saracosa Community College and West Rock LLC, doing business as West Rock General Engineering, for the Saracosa Community College Lower College Heights Boulevard project. The term is from April 10, 2025 through August 25, 2025. The cost of the district is not to exceed $1,107,316 to be paid from CC 102 local capital outlay funds. Is there a motion?
Motion.
A motion?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item E, authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into an amendment between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Saracosa Community College and FFP BTM Solar LLC for the Saracosa Community College Solar Canopy Project. The term of the agreement has not changed. The revised amount will increase the original agreement by $1,652,230 from $3,074,870 to $4,727,100 to be paid from GU 001 unrestricted funds. Is there a motion? A motion. And a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 11 was consent. Item 12 is educational services approval. Approval of the attached curriculum reports for the courses, programs, certificates, and new community services education course offerings as part of the district's curriculum for Bakersfield College, Saracosa Community College, and Porterville College. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item B, approval of out-of-state travel for Bakersfield College students to participate in the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association, University of Nevada, Las Vegas College Rodeo Competition. The rodeo club has qualified for the Spring College Rodeo Finals and will attempt to compete in May 1st, 2025 through May 4th, 2025 in Las Vegas, Nevada, to be paid from BCF 2406 Bakersfield College Foundation Fund. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes. Item C, authorization for international travel for Cornwall College faculty administration in coordination with the U.S. Consulate in Erbil, Iraq, to publicly formalize a sister college relationship with Erbil Polytechnic University. Additionally, attendees will co-host a certificate distribution ceremony for 70 university teachers following the successful completion of the PC-led 5-month Global Professional Development Series. Tentative travel dates are May 18th through the 24th, 2025, to be paid through Porterville College Foundation funds. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
President Monterez, would you just speak to this issue a little bit and explain what's going on? You've already told me, but I think the board would be interested.
Yes, for the past 5 years, Porterville College has been actively engaged in binational relationships and partnerships throughout the country and outside of the country. This has included with Iraq, Cuba, Mexico, and others in regards to student-to-student exchanges in the classroom, as well as faculty-to-faculty partnerships and professional development. I also invited Elisa Queen. She is our faculty lead, and she can give a short description because she has been leading these efforts since the very beginning.
That would be good.
So just go. Over here.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to this. At Porterville College, our mission starts with as students as our focus. Everything else after that is extra. Everything that we do is with the intent of supporting our students, including our binational projects, which we have a number of. We've had virtual exchanges with our students and other students in Cuba and Mexico and Iraq and working on social issues. We've had faculty to faculty, as my president explained. And this is just a wonderful opportunity for us to work with the U.S. Consulate to formalize our sister college relationship officially. And I welcome any questions anyone has.
How many people will be able to participate in this trip?
This one would probably just be 2 of us. Probably just me and my VP, because we need somebody with more clout than me. Any questions, I'm very happy to answer.
Stay in the shade.
Stay in the shade, yeah. Yeah.
And for the board as well, I want to commend President Monarez and her team. I've had the opportunity to participate in some of these webinars and meet some of the educational partners from our partnering countries. And just to say to a person that they've all been engaged in the same deliberate work that we're doing, putting students first. And to hear the richness and the depth of those conversations, I just want to thank everyone on the Porterville team, because it's apparent the work that you're doing, aligning with individuals who, again, put students first, and it's a great opportunity for the institution.
You're flying out the day after graduation.
That's what it looks like, yes, sir.
That's dedication.
Yes. And for us, it gives our students an advantage. You know, I mean, we want our students to work hard to be able to work internationally. It takes a lot of thought and a lot of care to be able to work in areas that are unfamiliar to you. Primarily, we do it in ag, and we want our students to have that advantage, so.
Thank you. We appreciate the explanation.
Thanks.
We have a motion and a second on that item. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We will move to item D. Approval of out-of-state travel for Bakersfield College students to participate in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to study abroad in Egypt. Here we go, we're going to Egypt. Students will be visiting museums, tombs, and receiving evening lectures that will earn them college credits in English and art from classes at Bakersfield. Travels from June 16, 2025 through June 29, 2025 to be funded by RP 170 restricted program funds. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? Stay in the shade there too. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item E, authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into an instructional agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Saracosa Community College and the Kern County Sheriff's Office. The term is from January 1, 2025 to December 31, 2029. The cost of the district is not to exceed $1,200,000 to be paid from GU 001 General Unrestricted Funds. Is there a motion?
Second.
A second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 13 was consent. Item 14, workforce and economic development. Item A, approval of Kern Community College District designated representatives for the Kern Adult Education Consortium. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. I have a second. Any discussion?
Who
All
was
in favor?
doing, who
Go
was
ahead.
doing this previously?
Pardon me?
Who was doing this previously?
Dr. Pfluger is the representative
Yeah.
now, so I'm not certain who would have been the previous representative prior to her time.
Okay.
I
Do-
think Thatcher Weldon was one of the individuals, and Trudy, I believe, was, I'm not sure who was primary and who was secondary. but I
That-
believe it was two.
The Vice Chancellor of Ed Services, Judy Gerald. Okay.
Okay.
Vice President of Workforce Development.
Workforce Development.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item B, authorization to the chief financial officer to execute a memorandum of understanding between the Kern Community College District and Mojave Unified School District to Mojave Adult School. The term of the agreement is from February 1, 2026 through June 30, 2025. February 26, 2025, through June 30, 2025. The cost of the district is not to exceed $120,000. Is there a motion? I have a motion.
Second?
I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 15, human resources. Item A, adoption of a resolution declaring May 18th through the 24th, 2025 as classified school employee week at the Kern Community College District. Is there a motion? I have a motion.
Second?
I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item B, adoption of the memorandum of understanding between the Kern Community College District and the California School Employees Association chapters 246, 336, and 617 to establish condensed work week schedule effective summer 2025. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion? Have a second? Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item C, adoption of a memorandum of understanding interjurisdictional exchange between the Kern Community College District and Foothill De Anza Community College District for the purpose of temporarily assigning current CCD employee Gary Mosier to the Digital Center for Innovation, Transformation, and Equity through April 31, 2026. Is there a motion? Have a motion?
Second?
Have a second? Are we ever going to get him back?
Once our work with the Digital Innovation Center finishes, but to remind the board that the work that Gary and others are doing is driving forward initiatives throughout all 116 community colleges, particularly dealing with artificial intelligence and how we can automate better business processes. And so this is a continuation of agreement that the board has approved in the past.
Okay. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 17, committee reports. Finance and audit, trustee Meek.
Yes, we met on March 31st, and our report is on board doc, 2 items here. The committee reviewed the annual R1 recalculation report from the state and our final carry forward calculation ending fiscal year 23-24. Additionally, we reviewed the first principal P1 payment in comparison to the adopted allocation for fiscal year 24-25. We are pleased to report the district continues to receive adequate SCFF funding from the state. Pertaining to item 3, the committee received a request for a budget augmentation in support of the district Office of Human Resources and Business Service Departments in an amount of $1,959,212. The committee recommended the request for the use of reserves be presented for approval to the full board at our May meeting. Item 4 and 5, the committee also reviewed the college's final spending plan for the Measure G bond, as well as financing options of the Measure C bond for Saratoga Community College. recommend financing options to be presented for approval to the full board at our May meeting. Item 6, lastly, the committee reviewed the amendment number 4 of the agriculture license agreement between Kern CCD and Fabry College Farms LLC. The amendment will extend the rate of years 10 and 30 for the licensed premises located at the intersections of Kratzmeyer Road and Enos Lane. The committee also met as the retirement board committee. On this March 31st, the retirement board met for the annual review of our other post-employment benefits ending fiscal year 2024. The committee reviewed the annual audit, financial, and OPEB investment reports, and we are happy to report a successful year with no audit findings. OPEB is fully funded and adequately supported.
Thank you. Any questions? OPEB's funded at 119%, which is just unbelievable. Very good. Okay. We'll go to reports, facility reports. The links are in front of you unless there's any questions. Mr. Reed is here if we need to ask any. If not, we'll go to faculty reports.
Good afternoon, Chancellor Bloomberg, President Corkins, trustees. I'm Dr. Rebecca Baird, Academic Senate President at Porterville College. I have submitted my board report, this time with photos, lots of them, to board docs, so please read my report. Some of the highlights include our PC math battle, our Puente program, and the many, many activities of our criminology club and administration of justice students. Our music adjunct, Ben McKeno, conducted a production of Madama Butterfly in Aliso Viejo, and our philosophy professor, Matthew Flummer, is in the latest edition of 10 Minutes with Tipton, where he was interviewed by the 7th graders for the Porterville Recorder. The link to that is also in my submitted report. PC also just held an amazing art exhibit in our gallery titled Veiled Voices, The Least of These. The exhibit originated from a 2022 collaboration between PC professors Elisa Queenan, who's here today, and Elizabeth Flynn, and Afghan activist Layla Haidari. The exhibit was curated by PC art professor Diron Lyons, and the images in the gallery were hidden under black veils. Visitors were encouraged to lift up the veils to view the art underneath. And we're so proud of our art gallery and the work that our art faculty do to curate this space for our students, for our faculty, for our staff, for our community. And then lastly, I'd also like to take this time to formally introduce the board to our incoming Academic Senate President, Dr. Sherry Burgess. Dr. Burgess will begin her term just after commencement. She's been teaching in the mathematics division at PC for 23 years? 23 years, and has served as division chair. She regularly hosts our math battle on campus with the local schools, and you could read more about the math battle in my report. Dr. Burgess has also served on curriculum, outcomes, college council, enrollment management, and CCA, where she currently serves as treasurer. She also holds a leadership role in the faculty discipline review group at the state level. And she's currently one of our advisors for Phi Theta Kappa. She just returned from a trip with students to a PTK conference in Kansas City. Dr. Burgess is a dedicated educator who truly cares about our students, our faculty, our college, and our district. She will bring a ton of experience and institutional knowledge to her role as Senate President, and I could not be prouder to have her as my colleague and as my friend, and to hand my gavel over to her in a few weeks. I'm excited for the board to be working with her too. Thank you.
Thank you. Classified reports.
Members of the board, I wasn't really going to come up and say anything, but I want to thank you for passing the Classified School Employees Week. That's really something that is appreciated by all of our members. I did want to say that we've completed our contract for 25 to 27, I believe it was. We have started our, we started something new this year. We call them Unity Breaks. We've completed 3 of them so far. We're going to each campus and having coffee and donuts or whatever with our classified employees, just to have a little bit more unity and to have a little bit of fun. So that's really all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Management Association reports.
President Corkins, trustees, Chancellor Bloomberg, staff and communities, I'm Chad Hauk, the president of the Kern CCD Management Association. First, we'd like to start our report by thanking President Flagger and his team for hosting the meeting today in this wonderful space that's going to be relevant at the end of this report. Next, we'd like to thank the Chancellor and his team for the continued work on the next phase of the management compensation adjustment process. Abe Ali continues to meet bi-weekly with our leadership to provide updates and gather input, and we're thankful that we have the opportunity to ask questions and provide feedback on that process. Last week, he shared some significant progress, and we're working on a communication that can go out to our membership if the next phase is approved. On March 25th, the Management Association hosted another Lunch and Learn, one of our professional growth initiatives that we're doing during the year. I want to recognize real quick Dan Hall. He won't like this, but he is in the audience, and he's the guy that's been running these for us. This Lunch and Learn was Isaias Hernandez and Debbie Lou Angeles, and they presented Navigating Imposter Syndrome in a Leadership Role. The focus was on ways to foster a more confident and supportive workplace culture in the face of struggling with confidence, despite proven experience, and fear of failure affecting our productivity. It was well attended, and there was interest in more professional development on this topic. And then finally, our 4th annual symposium is just around the corner. On May 29th, we will be focusing on servant leadership, leading with purpose, putting people first, and growing together. The symposium will feature a keynote speaker, a leadership panel, and various topics, including retirement planning, wellness, and some key CSEA contract elements for managers, among other topics. At this time, we're excited that we already have 107 registrants, which is, I think we've had about 115 to 120 show up in the past, and we're still a ways out. So that's about half of our membership, and we're hoping that we'll be able to get a lot more there with the support from the Chancellor, the board, and the presidents. And now for our Manager of the Month. For the month of April 2025, the KCCD Management Association is pleased to recognize Patricia, known as PJ, Delgado, as, that's our Manager of the Month. I'll ask her to stand after I read this little bit here. Since joining Bakersfield College, PJ has demonstrated strong leadership, guiding a small yet mighty event management team. Her professionalism is evident in every aspect of her work, and her commitment to respecting the excellence of Bakersfield College and Kern Community College District. With immaculate attention to detail, she leads operational event scheduling and logistics, managing over 800 requests per month. Her friendly and poised demeanor instills confidence in every requester and ensures every detail for their event is in expert and caring hands. Seeking efficiency and balancing resources to improve operations, PJ and her team have integrated a new scheduling system and extended necessary training to the administrative team at BC. Her commitment to supporting growing requests with timely and accurate scheduling, seating arrangements, facilities availability, and operational technological readiness is consistent and notable. With hundreds of individual events here at BC, she plays a crucial role in facilitating cross-departmental collaboration with M&O, marketing, public safety, and food service department. You experienced many of those today as she set all of this up for us. She ensures smooth execution of each meeting, forum, fair, workshop, and pretty soon to come, the BC commencement ceremony. Her unwavering dedication and excellence make her very deserving of this recognition this month. Please join me again in recognizing PJ as the association's
April Manager of the Month. PJ, that's it. No, PJ. You can say that. There you go. Oh, wait, she's getting up to work right now, probably. That concludes our report for this month. We're standing to applaud you. No, you don't have to make a speech. It's okay. You're good. PJ, thank you. Thank you for everything today. That concludes our report.
Congratulations. College reports.
Nobody was making eye contact. President Corkins, trustees, Chancellor Bloomberg. My report is loaded into board docs. A couple of highlights from that report are, I'm always saying we're not only the educational hub over in the Eastern Sierras, but we're also a cultural hub for our communities. And highlighted in the report are a few of the things that have taken place there, including another art opening, in our gallery, highlighting the work of Sapira Shock. We also had the 24th Poet Laureate, Ada Limon, come and do a reading for us as well, which was very popular. Even though it was on St. Patrick's Day, people gave up the green beer and came out to the college. And last but not least, one of the highlights is Saracoso has partnered with the Naval Air War Center Weapons Division and to help launch a tech grid, which is like a maker space. And so we've helped them secure a space, and they put all kinds of equipment in there for people to come and tinker with things and figure out problems off base and have a place to do that. So that's a major accomplishment that's been a little while in the making. Lastly, I just wanted to highlight last October, the board recognized and has allowed us to name the new athletic training room after Lo Stender, who we tragically lost last summer. Well, just as I submitted this report, I got news that she's been selected into the Hall of Fame for the California Community College Athletic Trainers Association. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, President, Chancellor, trustees. My report is also in board docs. Two things I want to highlight both from the report and an item that was discussed in the past. First is we do have a first here in athletics this year. Our women's tennis team completed the season entirely undefeated. They won their first playoff event this Tuesday. They'll be hosting the next round of the playoffs on Tuesday and then this coming Tuesday. And should that work out as we anticipate, we will then be hosting the Southern California tournament on the 22nd of April. So we're very excited about that. One thing that was in the report that I'd like to just expand on a little bit is through the work of our CTE division, we've entered into an agreement with Amazon to provide contract training for their warehouse workers, being the sole provider of that training up and down the west coast of the United States. This will not only be a workforce training program, but it will be a revenue generator for the college. It will allow us to supplement our unrestricted funds, as well as establish a fund for our CTE program to incubate and launch new innovations. So I'm very proud of the work that our Dean, Roseanne Hernandez, has done for that under Dr. Jessica Wojciech's leadership. And then lastly, you approved the travel of our rodeo team. It was about this time last year that I come to you asking that you would approve funds so they could visit the National Rodeo in Cheyenne, Wyoming, so they could see the national standard. I'm very proud to report that we right now are on track to have as many as 4 of our rodeo athletes compete at nationals, should that hold. So my applause to Ms. Beechner and all that she's doing in that area. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, President Corkins, trustees, Chancellor Bloomberg. I want to begin by everything begins with an idea, a thought, a planting a seed. It begins somewhere. So that's an example of the math battle that we heard earlier. It was an idea of some faculty leads of wanting to engage local schools in some competition. And they did this through a partnership with the CAP grant. So this innovation and it's thinking outside of the box that constantly occurs in our institutions. So we've been doing a lot of work throughout the past month. We've been holding forums. The very first safety security forum. We are holding a road realignment forum, another forum for students, just providing updates for people to have a voice as well as full transparency on the institution. We've also been engaged in multiple assessments, assessing safety and security, assessing facilities and the state facilities are in. I also want to acknowledge our caring campus team because we are a caring campus institution and focusing on the classified work and being caring across the campus. We also hosted a junior day. It changed from senior day from 1 year ago to fall to invite juniors from the local schools and engaging with the campus. We've also been holding Poetry in Your Pocket and poetry walks across the campus. And I want to acknowledge our maintenance and operations team as they're preparing and getting the grounds ready for commencement. It's a lot of work and they're in full gear. Registration has opened, so we've been having multiple registration events and we have been having a team who's been focusing on our strategic plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Chancellor.
Thank you, Trustee Corkins, members of the board. You have the Chancellor's report. Just a couple quick comments. One, I'd like to thank President Flagger and his team for their hospitality, mentioning a few specific individuals. Cheryl Scott, BC Foundation, for the topping off ceremony this morning. That was fantastic. I know the board appreciated being a part of that. Just all the logistics associated with doing this. To thank Catherine from the President's office, BJ, Jonathan, Corinne, Yvette, Leah. I appreciate everybody on this campus, all the work that you do. I want to commend PJ again for being recognized as a manager of the month. She and her team worked overtime over the weekend as Bakersfield College hosted Hard Rock International's informational sessions on Friday and Saturday, and being here both days. I want PJ to know that I held the Hard Rock people off because they wanted to hire you, and I said there was a moratorium on hiring President Flagger's employees, that neither he nor I would support that, but the work that you and your team did was exemplary, and I just wanted to thank you and the BC team for allowing our community's introduction to a really exciting project that will ultimately employ more than 1,500 individuals and be a major catalyst to our economy. So Trustee Corkins, members of the board, that concludes the Chancellor's report.
Thank you. Let's start with Trustee Diaz.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Trustee.
Thank you to Dr. Flagger and his team for hosting us. I always enjoy coming to Bakersfield College. It's such a beautiful campus. Also, as I was going through the different college reports, there's a lot of amazing events and things going on. But one that I wanted to highlight is the Let's Talk About It at Portobello College Day. Like, who can say no to tacos, right? And moreover, it brings students and everyone together, connecting the culture of students, meaning a lot of students come from the Hispanic culture to love tacos, and you have the opportunity to talk to them and find out more about them. So thank you for doing that. And that ends my report.
Thank you.
Just thank you, Bakersfield College, for hosting us today, especially everybody behind the scenes. I know that we kind of descend on this and everything looks so smooth on top, but I know that there's a lot of work that goes on that we don't see that makes it such a beautiful day for us. I just want to say appreciation to our classified professionals for everything that you do. A lot of it is behind the scenes, but you're the glue that holds it together. So thank you.
Student.
Hello, thank you. So I do want to start by saying that the students are the voice of what we want, and our students have been working really hard these past few weeks with the attendance of Bakersfield College, Porterville College, and Saracoso College student representatives at General Assembly on April 4th through the 6th at SSCCC. So the two resolutions that were from Bakersfield College were passed by consensus. So the blue light emergency boxes and the commitment to post-incarceration reintegration into education both passed. We were really excited about that, and during that event we went through 88 resolutions and voted upon them in a span of 3 days, which is really, really impressive, I feel. Additionally, I do want to give props to Itzel and Garrett and Elise, who were the delegates for Bakersfield College, Porterville College, and Saracoso. They did a wonderful job voting for what the students want. Additionally, our students are working really hard on Spring Fling. There's a lot of events happening right before spring break. And we hosted a town hall for President Biden with questions that the students brought to our attention on Tuesday, which I think that I will be talking to the presidents, the student presidents at the different colleges to probably do this with their own college presidents, because I feel like a lot of the questions that the students have for the presidents are very insightful to the higher education and to the higher up. So that is one of my reports that I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Scriven.
I too want to just thank Bakersfield College and President Fliger for hosting us and really giving us the opportunity to start the day celebrating the topping off ceremony, the buildings that are important to provide this instruction, sitting all day and being able to look out the window and see the students with their backpacks walking to and from class and really understand this is what all this conversation is really about, and you know, including celebrating folks like Steve Watkin, who really exemplifies what the leadership and investment in our students from the faculty and employee perspective. So today was an important, day to just consider all of what it takes to do what we do and why it's so important. So I just want to thank you for hosting an environment to really make it real to us.
Trustee Carter.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you too for having us here today. It's amazing what $500 million does, right? This place looks amazing. I just can't believe it. The lady picked me up over there in the golf cart and drove me over, and it was such a treat because it was just a ride through everything that's been going on through here for the last 5-6 years. And the campus looks so much better for it. I don't get over here near enough, but I was thinking, man, I should ask for a tour of the whole thing someday. But anyway, I appreciate that. I appreciate lunch and all the things that go on here. I thank Dr. Watkins for what he did and for showing appreciation to him for his leadership here. Anyway, I think that's it.
Trustee.
Just thank you very much for your hospitality. Echo what Kyle said, that college looks absolutely fantastic, and really does. Thank you.
Thank you. Prior to closed session today, Chancellor presented with us a draft of the strategic foresight planning report, which was very interesting and very well done. There's a lot of work going on, probably behind the scenes. I think we all indicated to Chancellor that becomes mind-boggling, and with all the efforts and the team required to put this together, we have high hopes of how we move forward. The planning is obviously crucial to our success in the future and to our success today. So we appreciate all those who worked on that. There are a lot of questions to it. There's a lot to it. We understand that, and we appreciate all your efforts there. President Fliger, thank you for hosting us today. Campus looks great, and the top-off ceremony was great this morning. And with that, I think we are adjourned until May. We were close.